The Danish Deception, Dusty, and the Desperate, Delusional, Dummy, PICKMESHA. I was trying to give this girl the benefit of a doubt. I do believe she's a victim. I believe that because there's a lot of scamming going around. But the more I listen, I'm like, girl, you's a dummy. You's a dum-dum. Because I'm like, how do you think, why would a multimillionaire royalty be borrowing $6,000 from you? Why? Why? Please tell me why. Hey, cousins. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I'm really trying to come live more to hang out with you guys. You know, plus I'm getting ready to retire soon. So, you know, trying to spend more time with you guys. The Danish Deception. Okay. I know a lot of you have emailed me and messaged me like, oh my God, Janice, when you gonna do the Danish Deception? And I was like, okay, girl, I just have to try to listen to it so we could just do a live and get it over with, because this is just too stupid for me. Thumbs up as you come in the room. Good morning. Good morning. Say hey, cousin, in the chat. Beauty for Ashes. Hello, Beauty for Ashes. Oh, I like the cousins with the K. I might have to borrow it, girl. I give you credit for it. Share this out. Share this out. Let's get a few more cousins with the K in the room. Okay, girl. Okay, hold on. Touch screen, computer. Touch the screen moves. Get a few more cousins in the room. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. My husband woke me up early this morning about baby. So I was already up, but I was, laying down. He was like, babe, it's snowing. I get a run, open the door. Girl, ain't no snow. I was like, Mike, where's the snow? It's like a dust. He was like, well, hurry up, take a picture before it go away. And I'm like, because it's a dust. He's like, no, look at the street light. I said, Mike, I ain't see no snow on the street light. Do you need to get you some new glasses? It's been a few years. Maybe it's time to get some new glasses, because they know no snow on the tree at the street light. So I've been up. I was going to go back and take a nap. I was like, nope, let me do the live. Little Michael has his test taking strategy tutoring at 11:30. So I want to get this done. Hey, y'all, come on in the room. Please be sure to subscribe. Check to make sure you are subscribed. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. And do I have something juicy for you ladies? I'm going to be doing a free training on is he a wolf or a sheep? Because what I'm realizing, a lot of women do not know if the men you are dating, if they are wolves or sheeps. Okay, a lot of women have been deceived by men, alleged Christian men. And I'm like, I don't understand how y'all don't see that he's a wolf. I don't understand it. So I'm going to be doing a free training on Janice Hylton mentoring. So I'm going to drop the link below. Go over and register. Is there a registration? Yes, it is $1. I'm charging $1 for the training because I have limited spots and I don't want people just sign up just to sign up. Sign up because you're serious. So if you pay $1, maybe you'll come back. For the training, I am going to have a book. It's going to be an ebook and probably a print book. I didn't get the cover from my designer yet, but y'all going to love it, honey. Ooh, let me check my messages to see if she emailed me. I think she's going to send me the rough copy today. Nope, she didn't email me yet, but let's see how long she has to. Hopefully she'll send me the rough copy before we get off the live today, okay? So, is he a wolf or a sheep? I want, especially Christian women, to recognize 5 hours. Oh Lord Jesus, 5 hours to go. Hopefully she'll send it to me before we get off the. I want Christian women to be able to recognize a wolf when you see one. You shouldn't have to marry a wolf to recognize he's a wolf. You shouldn't have to hear rumors about him, especially those of us who are in the body and we're born again, because we have the help of the Holy Spirit. Duh. Okay. Beautiful Ashes, good morning. Hello. Hey, cousin. Hey, Sandra. Hello. My beautiful cousin. Blessed Saturday morning, cousin Janice. Hey. All three of them are wolves. Thank you. Thank you, beautiful Ashes. All three of them are wolves. Yet, Christian woman has followed these men, thrown the drawers at him, marry him. And I'm like, girl, what's wrong with you? Girl, what's wrong with you? He's a wolf. He's a wolf. How do you not know? You have to test the fruit. Thank you. Thank you, beautiful Ashes. You have to test the fruit. How do you not know he's a wolf? So, you know what I recognize? Maybe they don't know. So what I'm going to be doing a training. It's free. Again, it's $1 to sign up because I have limited spots and I don't want people signing up just to sign up, but you don't come back and then you're taking space from somebody else. I'm going to be doing it 2 Saturdays, maybe 3. It's going to be December 27th. Should we just go to my website? It's going to be December 27th and January. Let's just go to my website to see what it says. Janice Hylton Mentoring. I was up this morning trying to get it done before I go live. So you can go over, sign up. It's $1, okay? It's December 27th, January 3rd, and I might throw in another class. So it's going to be the ebook. Of course, you have to pay for the ebook because I have to pay my designer to design the ebook, and I have to pay my formatter to format the ebook. So the ebook is going to be, I don't know, $10, $20. Maybe the ebook is $10. The paper copy book is $20. I don't know yet. I just have to see how much they charge me, and I go based on that. Child, she says she divorced. She married and divorced. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Sweet baby Jesus. So I'm going to keep you posted, but hopefully, Rebecca, my designer name, her name is Rebecca. Hopefully Rebecca will send me the proof copy before we get off the live. You guys are going to love it. You guys are going to love it. Okay. And so go over to Janice Hylton Mentoring. Let me put it in the chat. Janice Hylton Mentoring and sign up. It's $1. Again, it's basically, it's free. It's just the $1 is so that people really want to sign up, who really want to sign up. Okay. So I'll wait to see if I get emails to say you guys signed up. Lady Lyrics. Hello, Lady Lyrics. How are you? How are you? Thank you so much for your love and your support. So come on in the room. We're going to be talking about the Danish Deception. I was trying to give her the benefit of a doubt, but the more I listened, I was like, girl, you're a dum-dum. First, you're a PICKMESHA, and then you're a dum-dum. And that's why I had to change my title and add dummy, because I'm like, what millionaire is asking you to borrow money from you? So come on in the room. Let's share this link out. Okay, let me go ahead and start playing this video again while we wait for the rest of the cousins, while I share some of these links. Okay, I love you. I love you. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. If you're a YouTuber and you want to join you want to be able to do lives like I do lives, and you see other people do lives, that's the StreamYard. That's the link. You can sign that up, and you'll be able to do your streams like me. Okay, so let me go ahead and play part 1. Okay, it took me forever to listen to it because my ears was hurting. She's totally annoying. And you know what I realized? Of course, she's Christian. And I'm like, I don't understand why Christian women are so dum-dums. Like, it baffles me how dumb we are, because we have the Holy Spirit to help us. Okay. But that goes back to, oh, God told me that's my husband. God said that's my husband. Okay, so let's listen to part 1 while the other cousins come on in the room. Okay.
The Danish Deception.
Be sure to subscribe, thumbs up, share this out if you can. Let's get a few more people in the room.
Part 1. Okay, so it all started in June of 2022. I was in a place in my life where I was working 2 jobs. I was working like a dog, and I knew I needed a break. So I reached out to my friend Sarah, who was living in Germany at the time with her husband, and I said, let's take a trip. Let's go somewhere in Europe. And she was so down, and we were trying to decide where we wanted to go. And we decided to go to Hvar, Croatia, because we wanted somewhere that was like a cute local town that was by the water, but it wouldn't be as crazy busy as other places in Europe. And so we decided to go to Hvar. We flew to Split first, met there, took a ferry over. And at first I was just so amazed at how beautiful this place was. And so the first night I was a little bit jet lagged. So we kept it very chill, grabbed dinner, then went back to our Airbnb. And the next morning when we woke up, we had literally 2 things on our agenda, and that was to eat and drink and be by the water. And well, I guess that's 3 things, but yeah, eat, drink, and be by the water. So we went to Hula Hula, which if you've been to Hvar, you've been to Hula Hula. It's this beach club that's very well known there, and it's right on the water. And we're laying in day beds kind of off to the side, minding our own business, sipping mojitos. And I look up and I see this very attractive man. Mm-hmm. And the first thing that came to my mind was, this man looks like he is walking straight out of a Calvin Klein ad. And I'm telling you guys, 6'3", blonde hair, blue eyes, chiseled skin, so tan, muscles everywhere. I was definitely taken aback. And I feel like it takes a lot for me to really double take a man just based on his looks like that.
So obviously she loves white men. Nothing wrong with that. If you don't know, I am okay. I am okay for those women, for those Black women who are okay with dating outside your race. I have no problem with it. I think that is an issue we need to address in the Black community, because a lot of our men are in jail. The last numbers I checked, I don't remember, 35% of Black men are in jail, considering Black people make up 13, 14, 15% of the American population, and then 35% of Black men are in jail. So if you have 100 Black men and you put 35 in jail because they are doing criminal things to get locked up, not all of them, but 99.99% of them, and you still have 100 women, let's take away 5 and put them in jail too, because women are not going to jail. You have 95 Black women who are interested in 65 Black men. And there's no telling that the 65 are good, productive, successful Black men. Okay. So for me, for Janice, I am okay with Black women who are interested in non-Black men. I'm not one of those women, but I don't have a problem with it. And if you are interested, hey, but obviously from her description, because who describe a white man like that, right? Like Black woman, we say, girl, look like Morris Chestnut. Oh, those beautiful white teeth. Honey, he fine like water. That's because we love Black men. But a woman who describe a white man like that, she obviously loves and prefers white men, okay? Thumbs up as you come in the room. Let's listen on.
And 100%, I was a little bit just in awe. I didn't even realize that he was like with a friend at first. And so I'm still minding my own business, keeping it chill. And he looks over at me and he says, how are the drinks? And I said, the drinks are wonderful. We're just sipping mojitos. He said, should I get us all around? And I said, absolutely. Number 1, he's cute. Number 2, who wants?
She's beautiful, by the way. Let me just say that. She's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful teeth, beautiful skin. Beautiful, beautiful girl. She's Nigerian American, first generation. Let me see, I was taking notes. 31 Nigerian American. So she's probably first generation.
I want a free mojito. So I said yes. We got a round of drinks and we're sipping our drinks and we just start small talking. And I asked them where they're from. and they say that they're both from Denmark. My ex was living in Copenhagen, and then his friend was living in a smaller town called Aalborg, which is north of Copenhagen, and that was actually my ex's hometown, that his friend was still living there. And so we were just small talking the whole time. We didn't really talk about a whole lot of things. It was just like, where are you from? And just basic things. But they were asking us, what's your plan for the rest of the trip? And we told them, you know, we're doing a full day boat excursion tomorrow, and then we're going to dinner tonight at this place called Dalmatino. And he said, oh, how's the dinner spot? And I was like, I don't know, but I got recommended by a friend to go there. And he was like, okay, well, maybe we'll meet up with you guys again later. And I said, sure. So we're getting a little bit tired. So we decided that it's time for us to leave. And so as we're leaving, I decide to make a bold move and just ask him for his Instagram. And obviously I'm trying to be a little slow.
PICKMESHA. PICKMESHA. We don't ask men for numbers, phone numbers, Instagram. We don't do any of that. If he is interested, he'll ask you. Okay? Okay, thumbs up. Check to make sure you thumbs up this video. Thank you, boo.
So I asked him and his friend for their Instagrams, and we exchanged Instagrams. We get into our taxi to go back to our Airbnb, and we're literally en route to our Airbnb, and I get a DM from him, and he basically said, it was so nice meeting you. Have fun at Dalmatino. Maybe we'll see you guys later. Didn't read anything into it. I just was like, it was fun to just have a conversation with a cute guy. And so we go back to our Airbnb, we get dressed, we get ready for dinner, and we're like on our way to dinner, and he is like messaging me about the restaurant and asking us details about it. I didn't like think anything of it. But we sit down, we're having dinner, we have a spectacular dinner, and we're finishing off the evening with our desserts, aka espresso martinis. And I'm sipping my drink, and I look up and I see him and his friend at the restaurant. And they walk up over to us, and I'm like, oh, hey. He's like, yeah, like they're a little booked up, but they said they can like seat us in like 20 minutes. I was like, oh, cool. Well, we're about to be done, but you know, we'll go grab a drink. Maybe we can like meet up later. And he said, okay, sounds good. So it's kind of awkward timing because we were finishing up dinner while they like hadn't even been sat yet. And so we went to a bar across the street, and we were grabbing drinks, and I hit a wall, and I was like, okay, now I need to go to sleep. And I was super jet lagged. And so I sent him a DM just basically saying, hey, we are so tired. We have a full boat excursion tomorrow. I don't think we're going to stay out much later. And he was like, that's totally fine. And so the next day we wake up, we get on the boat, and I start obviously posting like all my cute photos. Like, remember I took a photo driving the boat, and like we were just, you know, having fun. And I was like looking at my Instagram story, and I see he's like hearting every single story, and like he's responded to a couple of them. I am not the type of person that reads very much into activity on social media like that. But it was something that I noticed. And so, you know, we continued on with that for like a day and a half. And then he reaches out to me, and he says, hey, like, what are you guys doing? And at this time, it is our last night in Havar. And he said, what are you guys doing tonight? And I said, we don't really have plans because we didn't. And he said, well, do you guys want to come to dinner with us? And me and my friend were like, absolutely, sure. And she wasn't really down to go. I kind of forced her because I was like, this guy's hot and it's a free dinner. Like, let's just go. It'll be fun. And so she's a good friend. So she came with me, and we get to the restaurant, and him and his friend are sitting across from each other. So obviously I took the seat next to him. I was sitting across from my friend, and we're sitting there, we're having a wonderful dinner and drinking tons of wine. And I come up with this idea to play this game where I'm asking,
Put in comments, PICKMESHA. Make sure I ain't hearing it. Put PICKMESHA in the comments. Go ahead, put it in there. Put PICKMESHA in the comments because, girl, you're trying too hard, which is probably why you got used. You're trying way, 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 way too hard. Okay, put in the comments, cousin PICKMESHA.
His best friend to describe what my ex's type was, and because we were obviously like vibing with each other, and I was just curious. And so his best friend starts listing off everything, like good morals, hard worker, all these things, and like I felt like he was describing me. And after his friend was done talking, my best friend basically said, you know, aside from being a good cook, she checks off every single box. And I remember I looked at him, my ex, and I said, but I will become a great cook for a good man. And he starts laughing. I remember I put my...
So you're Nigerian. You're not a great cook. I have never heard of a Nigerian woman who don't know how to cook. But you're willing to become a great cook for him. So that's not who you are, but you're willing to become a great cook, which means eventually you're going to get tired being a cook because that's not who you are. You don't like it. You don't enjoy it. At least cook one meal a week, girl. Thumbs up as you come in the room. Thumbs up. We're just going to play part 1 and let the rest of the cousins come in the room. Then we're just going to talk about it and just, you know, talk about it.
My hand on his leg, and that was the first time in my life that I felt that instant electricity from someone's touch. Like it literally felt like I was getting shocked, and we instantly like had this physical attraction towards each other. And we started talking about what we did for work, and I told him that I was working as a real estate agent and in tech. And then he told me, he's like, I'm actually chief commercial officer for an ad tech company that does marketing for real estate companies. So I was working in real estate and tech, and he was working in real estate and tech, and everything just like felt like it was aligning. But again, I'm like, this guy lives in Copenhagen. There's nothing that's going to come from this. So after dinner, we go and grab some drinks at a bar nearby, and we grabbed one drink, and they're definitely gearing up to go back out. And it was our last night, and my friend really did not want to go out, and I am not the type of a girl to ever leave my friend for a man, never in a million years. So I ended up just saying, hey, I think we're going to call it a night, and we're going to head out. And he was respectful of that 100%. And I remember we just hugged goodbye and we left, and that was it. And so we're going back to our Airbnb. We're walking home, and I get a DM from him, and he said, it was so nice meeting you. I hope it's not the last time. Also, South Africa is happening. I can see it. And the reason why he said that was because I was telling him that I had wanted to go to South Africa for that following Christmas, and because my family was going to be traveling. And he said, I've always dreamt of going to South Africa. And I jokingly was like, well, you're invited if you want to come. And so whenever he made that comment to me in the DM, I was like,
PICKMESHA.
okay, sure. I am not thinking anything of it, right? At this point, whatever, like this guy lives 5,000 miles away from me. I'm not thinking anything of it. So the next day, my friend goes back to Germany, and I go to Barcelona to meet up with some friends. And again, I'm like posting throughout my trip, and every time I look at my phone, it's like he's DMing me, messaging me, and he's continuing all of this. And I'm just a little bit shocked, but also like very interested still at the same time. And he was remembering things that I told him at dinner. Like I had told him that I was going to buy a Chanel bag because I wanted to reward myself for working hard. And he had messaged me and been like, hey, did you get your Chanel bag? And I was literally like drunk off sangrias in my bikini and cover up in the Chanel store when I got that DM. And I sent him a selfie and he said, "This is the best photo I've ever seen." And I just like felt like I could just be myself with him already. And, you know, we were just getting along and having good conversation. So again, he doesn't even have my phone number at this point. We were literally just flirting through DMs. So I ended up leaving Barcelona the next day, and I land and he sends me a message and he said, "What are you doing this weekend? Do you want to go to Ibiza?" And I saw the message and I was like, "What?" And we will continue in part 2.
About 300.
The stranger. The stranger. I'm waiting for the part where she says this is like Risa Tisa. I'm like, girl, this is nothing like Risa Tisa, because you're sitting up there acting like you didn't do nothing wrong. You was, and again, I do believe part of it, she was a victim, like 10% of it. That's all I'm gonna give her. Okay. Oh God, she has so many people. And do you notice how she do her videos in these? Let's find part 2. Let's find part 2. But how many of you actually watched it? Oh, here go part 2. How many of you actually watched it? Okay, how many of you actually watched it?
Okay. So he sent me this message saying, "You should come to Ibiza this weekend. I'm going with a bunch of friends." And he's like, "I'll send you the flight. Everything will be paid for." And I thought about it for a second because, come on, who wouldn't want to go to Ibiza? And then I thought a couple of reasons why I didn't want to go was mainly because I just bought a Chanel bag. So I was like, I want to work and make more money. And also I felt like this is the type of guy that things come easy for him. And this is not something that's going to be easy for you to obtain. And I didn't want our first weekend to be like just partying together with all of his friends. Like, that's not what I wanted. So I ended up telling him no, but I just ended up saying that I needed to work. And I thought he was never going to talk to me again. But somehow this like lit a fire under him, and he became even more persistent, and he started pursuing me even more. And he was sending me messages like, "When are you going to come visit me in Copenhagen?" Or, "I would love to come to Dallas to come see you." And I was just like, who is this man and what's happening? Still not really taking him serious. And then maybe like a couple weeks later, he sends me another message. And at this point, we're still talking pretty consistently on Instagram. We still do not have each other's numbers. And he sends me a message. He says, "Hey, I have a work conference coming up in Monaco, and I would love for you to come." And I read that message and I was like near the south of France, like that Monaco? And he was like, "Yeah, like I can get you your flight and everything will be taken care of." And I was like, okay, well, give me some time to think about it, because I didn't want to say yes on the spot, but I was like, okay, this is something I definitely want to consider. So I thought about it for a while. I talked to my friends about it. I talked to my sisters about it. At first I was like, I don't think I'm going to do it. Like, this is crazy. And then over time, I started like talking myself into it. And then one morning I woke up and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go to Monaco. So I sent him a message and I said, "Hey, I've decided I'm going to come to Monaco." And he sends me a message. He said, "This is the best day ever. I'm so happy. Send me your passport and everything. I'll book the flight." So I sent him a picture of my passport. And I also was like, "Oh, and by the way,
the stranger, the killer, the possibly killer." She sent her passport to the possible killer.
Here's my phone number. He was like, "I've been waiting for you to give this to me for now like weeks." And
so you gave him your passport picture to a man who didn't even have your phone number.
I said, "Okay, here you go. Thank you for like inviting me on this trip." So I give him my phone number and he sends me a message and he said, "It took you long enough." And I said, "Oh yeah, well, sorry. I'm just a little bit more reserved when it comes to like dating and men. Like, I just like to make sure like I'm a very intentional person."
So much information.
And he was just so respectful to me. I remember when he was booking the flights and everything, he was like, "Don't worry, like I'll get you your own hotel room." Like, he was just being so respectful. And so I remember our very first phone call so perfectly because it came completely out of the blue. It was like on like a Tuesday, and I'm sitting at my work desk, and he sends me a message. He's like, "Can I call you?" And I was like, "Oh, he wants to call me," and I'm like,
"Oh my God!"
I'm literally discombobulated, freaking out. Like, what am I going to do when this man actually calls me? But I was like, "You need to get together." So he calls me, answer the phone, and he's actually in a cab to the airport. He's about to go on a work trip, and we were just small talking about our day. And I felt like those like butterflies that I felt whenever we had been together at dinner in Croatia. And I remember getting off the phone with him, and I was just sitting there like cheesing, like, which I don't ever do. And I was just, this guy is special. And he sent me a message, and he was like, "You are so cute. Like, I love talking to you." And I said, "I love talking to you too." And so basically from that moment on, we just started talking on the phone all the time, like for 1 hour, 2 hours a day. We started talking about a lot of things, about a lot of different aspects of our lives. He was telling me that, he was living in Copenhagen. He was living in this condo. Obviously, he knew that I lived in Dallas. And then we started talking about past relationships. And I told him, I was very honest. I said, I actually haven't had like a truly serious relationship before. I have always been a very independent person, but I do want to meet someone. I do want to like get married and have kids, but I don't feel like that pressure to like force it. Like, I have such a great example with my parents, and I really want to have like an amazing love in this lifetime. And so I'm going to take my time to find that. And I asked him, like, "What's your history with your dating?" And he was like, "Yeah, well, I actually was in a relationship with a girl, and we were together for about 4 years.
Remember this?
And I actually broke up with her about 4 months before I met you." And I said, "Oh my gosh, like the 4 years is a long time." He said, "Yeah, like it needed to happen for a while." And really what happened was that she told him that she was ready to have kids, and he wasn't ready to have kids. And I guess that forced him to realize that she wasn't the one. And they were living together. So it was like a really hard situation to get out of, but he finally was able to do so. And so I was happy to hear that it had been about 4 months since they broke up, because if he had said like they had just broken up, I would have been a little bit more hesitant to pursue things, because I know like you go through a breakup, you need time to heal. But I felt like, okay, 4 months should be enough time. And then we started talking about like our families a little bit too. I told him I'm super close with my family. He said, "I'm really close with my mom and my little sister. I do have an older sister that I don't talk to." And basically something happened, and she was like being like physically abusive, verbally physically abusive towards his mom.
Okay, I can't. This is what I had to go through. Did you see me twitching and like? Did you see me twitching? Okay. Angel, good morning. Millicent said, "I wonder what she have been all in. If the dude was black, did she bother to Google to determine what the man was?" Absolutely not. There is no way, because he's royalty. He was in the Olympics. That's an easy Google search, dum-dum. It's easy. Oh, you did. You did. Oh, wait a minute. Beauty for Ashes. Let me drop the link for you to come up and tell me what you thought about it. If you want to, you don't have to show your face. You could just use your voice. Of course, if you have to come up here, I have to know you. You cannot come up here if I don't know you, okay? I'm just like, girl. Here's the link, Beautiful Ashes. You could come up. Girl. Catalina. Is that Catalina in the blacklist? Did you watch the blacklist? Melissa said, "No, just commentary." Yeah, we're gonna watch some of the things that people say. It was horrific. I had my own flashback. Wow. She did all of the proving of her worth, and yet didn't wonder why he didn't do this. Exactly, exactly. Angel says, I used to wonder if I was too skeptical of people when dating, but no, I realized I probably wouldn't fell for so much more. So thankful. Exactly. I wouldn't have made any video. I wouldn't have made any videos to my L and learned from it who were the people in her inner circle. They are so dense as she is. No one was able to provide wise counsel. Exactly. No, it was because he was a white man, so everyone defense were down. Hello, Beauty for Ashes. How are you?
Hi, good morning, Janice and cousins. How you all doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Sorry, I'm not on camera. I'm just
That's
getting
fine. You
myself
don't have to be on
together.
camera. You don't have to be on camera. So
Okay.
what you thought about the this foolishness?
Yeah, you know what? I saw the whole series through, and it's not until now that we're going back that I'm catching small things that
Right.
initially I saw it, I heard it, and then I kind of mentally put it in the back of my brain. And then now that we're talking about it, I'm like, oh my God, that's why I said it was horrific. And
Mm-hmm.
it kind of gave me flashbacks to my own personal story. It wasn't this extensive, but I did marry a wolf. He was a prophet or
Mm,
proclaimed one. So, yeah, a lot of this kind of resonates with that wolf in sheep clothing.
exactly. Exactly. And like somebody said, like who was in her inner circle? Like
Mhm.
nobody, nobody was able to see through all of this.
Well, I
The
had made a
family,
comment
the
saying,
mama, the daddy,
yeah, I had made a comment saying that because he was white, that's my personal
because he
opinion.
was white.
Yeah, no, the
Exactly.
defenses just went down, and that's just
Mhm.
the reality. If he was black, we know that we wouldn't have a 27-part series. So,
27 and going.
yeah.
Part series. Um, Melissa said there was a black young woman who met an African prince, question country, in a bar, and he was legit. It can happen. However, still must do. Yeah, it can. We're not saying it can't happen. What we're saying is, whoever you meet, you need to vet them. You need to research them. You need to meet people who know them. Talk to them. You need to Google them. In this day and time, everything is on social media. There's nothing that's not on social media because people put stuff on social media.
And I had a similar experience myself where didn't really do a whole lot of research, but also
Mhm.
never met his family. We met
Wow.
during the time of COVID, and so that was always the excuse. He originally is from Georgia, and I'm in Chicago. I'm born and raised, and so he was up here. So it was always, well, it's COVID, so we can't really nobody can get on a plane, or it was always excuses.
Mhm.
And so that should have been a red flag, but it was like, oh no, I'm just gonna understand, the situation for what it is. So,
Mhm. Wow. How long were you in that marriage?
well, we were married about 6 to 8 weeks before he left. That's the whole story.
Okay,
And
wait, wait,
then,
wait. How long were you married for?
but we married in total a year. It was about a
Mhm.
year. Yeah.
And this was during COVID, you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, we met end of 2020, and then we really didn't actually finalize everything until 22 officially.
Mhm.
So it's the whole of 2021, just trying to get out of the situation, fighting, because you want to do the Christian thing and stay
Mhm.
there and fight for my marriage. And so it was all of 21, that back and forth with him. And it wasn't, yeah, officially until 22 where got the paperwork and finalized everything.
Mhm. So why do you think you fell for him?
Um, I think one main reason is, definitely in the church, we being taught just wait on the Lord. He
Mm,
gonna stick with your Boaz. And I think that, you know, that waiting is a verb. It's not just a noun. So a lot of times, especially as Christian women, we think that waiting means just sitting looking at four walls. We think waiting means that God just gonna literally bring the person FedEx him to you. And
Mm,
that's what we're being taught. And we're not being taught, no, faith without works is dead. You can have
amen.
all the faith in the world, but if you don't put action behind it, right? That
Mhm,
doesn't mean you got to put yourself out here and do all kind of things, but you need to be active. You need to be, about purpose anyway.
right.
And you're just taught just sit there and God just gonna send them,
Mhm.
and so
And
that's what you
he's gonna
do.
be right. He's gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah.
perfect.
And you don't learn how to vet. That's a
Mhm.
term that I'm hearing more now, in 2025 than I've ever heard. You're not
Right,
taught that, especially as a Black woman, in Christian church. You just told, like I said, to just wait. But you're
right.
waiting on what? So when I met this man and he was, that tall, dark, and handsome or whatever, I just grabbed at it
Mhm.
because, that's the reality of it.
Right, right. And that happened to so many women where this is why I'm trying to go so hard because we see it all the time, which is why I want to do that class about the wolf, knowing the wolf in sheep's clothing, being able to identify him. Not not and I cannot wait for you guys to see the cover because that was my second option. Wolf in sheep's clothing. And I was like, when I saw the picture, I was like, I'm trying to stop saying, oh my God. I was like, wow. I cannot wait for you guys to see it because it's going to show why so many ladies fall for wolves. A lot of women fall for wolves, and I think there are reasons why women fall for wolves, and those are things we really need to talk about. And those are we really need to learn how to date. That dating, you do not have to meet a man and marry him. That dating is for data.
Mhm.
You gather the data, you gather the information. You just don't believe him. You just don't go marry him. You just don't think everything he says is true because he could possibly be a wolf.
Yeah, and Janice, you said something in the very beginning about us as Christian women. We seem to be dumber, and I'm no offense to in any
Yeah.
way, but like we seem to be a little bit dumber than secular
Oh,
world. We supposed to be the smarter ones because we do have the Holy
Holy
Spirit
Spirit.
who's here to help us, to help guide us, and we seem to just drop the ball all the time.
Right.
And I had to repent, like, Lord, forgive me for acting stupid, for not using what you've given to me as a tool
Right.
to help me. I
Right.
just totally just pushed them to the side, at that time and said, well, I'm gonna just do my own thing. And Lord, you come on and bless this mess that I created.
Mhm. And it's sometimes what I'm realizing with a lot of women, it's not doing your own thing. It's you believe God sent him. So what I'm realizing with a lot of women I mentor is because they believe that God sent him, then he's perfect. There's nothing wrong. You don't need to do blood work. You don't need to get the credit report. You don't need to go to the job and get the W-2. You don't need to go down to the bank with him and watch the man punch in the number. You don't need to sit beside him and get the credit report. You don't need to Google him, do police report. Has he been
Yeah.
locked up? Has he been arrested? What was he arrested for? Because Black Christian women are taught that God sent this man, then you feel like you don't need to vet him and you don't need to do the work.
Hmm.
Faith without works is dead
Yeah.
because we believe that God sent him. So if I believe God sent him, why do I need to research him? Why do I need to vet him? Do I need to get the credit report? Because I believe God sent him. So whatever he is, this must be God's will for my life.
Yeah, that's true. That's really true.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad that you got out of it, honey. I am so glad that you got
Thank
out of
you.
it. That was not God's will for your life.
No, it wasn't, but I'm thankful because it's part of my testimony. I
Right.
wrote my book, Beautiful Ashes. The actual truth about love is not a fairy tale during that time.
Woo!
So
Is that
God
on
really,
Amazon?
it is on Amazon.
Oh wow. Let me look it up.
Okay. And so, yes, I was saying that God really, he turned that mess into something that was beautiful. you know, I was going through feeling depressed, feeling very down about myself. And I
Beauty
believe
from ashes. What?
God, here's the actual truth about love is not a fairy tale.
That's funny because I have a book that says it is a fairy tale. That's interesting. Yeah, I have something that says it is a fairy tale. Okay, goody. Wonderful. Let me pull it up so the cousins could see it.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. Let me just pull it up and then okay, so is this the book? Can you see it?
That's me.
Oh, wonderful. So I'm gonna go ahead and purchase it and to show
Thank
you love and
you.
support.
Thank you so much.
This is a blessing. It's a blessing.
Thank you. And actually, just a little, you know, synopsis. The book is not probably what you think it is. It's actually God gave me several couples from the Bible, and I talk about their love story. So it's not me bashing love or anything like that. It's actually a very hopeful story.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. I
much.
appreciate you sharing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else want to share? I'm gonna play a bit more of people reacting to the honey. The Nigerians are mad. The Nigerians are upset. They're like, "How you from Nigeria? You let some man scam you?" Let's see what a few of the people are saying. Okay.
Request, I am going to provide my commentary on the Danish Deception, a Nigerian American lady who got scammed because of her desperate desire to marry the type of white man that fit into her fairy tale idea of love. Part one of my
I love that. Not you, Michael. The white man fit. Not you, Michael. Into her imagination. Not you, baby. Hallelujah. Let me play it again. I love this.
Based on popular request, I am going to provide my commentary on the Danish Deception, a Nigerian American lady who got scammed because of her desperate desire to marry the type of white man that fit into her fairy tale idea of love.
Woo! That was powerful. Okay, that was powerful. Before I play this, let me just give. I have notes here. So she's 31, Nigerian American. So that means first generation, not born here. She was on The Bachelor. I didn't watch that season. I think somewhere in the video she said. So she was on the Bachelor with the guy that came out the closet, and he said the reason why he sent her home was because he would have figured it out. She would have figured it out that he was in the closet. So I thought that was interesting. But I love what this sister said because her desperation for wanting to get married. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to get married, y'all. There's absolutely nothing wrong. The only thing is we want to make sure this man is right for us. So let me go ahead and let this sister play, and then we'll come back and chat a little bit, okay?
One of my commentary is going to focus on race and the dynamics of how race played into her entire deceptive love story. Onyeka is suffering from a concept postulated by biracial African-American scholar Ralina Joseph. This concept is known as transcending Blackness, even though the initial argument of transcending Blackness relates to the struggles of biracial people with a Black parent. I am using the concept of transcending Blackness in the sense that being Black is perceived as something negative. And so some Black people try to overcome that by consuming and inculcating a lot of white values, white norms, white social capital white cultural capital so that they do better in life, especially within the context of America. And my assertion is supported by the fact that if you look at her friendship groups, she has a lot of white friends. Apparently, she follows problematic Black people like Candace Owens. So I hope you get the picture that I'm trying to paint. Now, let me bring it back.
So while I do agree with the whole Black-white thing, I think we also need to calculate where a person grew up, right? She probably grew up, obviously, she grew up in maybe upper middle class family in Texas, and she definitely wasn't raised in the hood. You can tell, you can see. So she probably went to private school. I don't know that. Or she lived in communities where she was probably one of 10 Black children in the school. So because of that, her friend group and her circle are mostly white people, because not too many Black people can afford to live. Let's, for example, I live in Newark mainly because of my daughter, Alexia. But if it wasn't for my daughter, I would not be living here. I would be in Maplewood. I would be in Milburn. I would be in Livingston. I would be in Montclair. I would probably be in Nutley. We're trying to find our forever home. We haven't found it. And right now, my husband and I, we're looking in Montclair and we're looking in Maplewood, because based on our income, that's where we would prefer to live. Granted, our son is not ever going to be going to public school. So some people live in good neighborhoods, in white neighborhoods or white cities, for their kids to go to good schools. So I'm not going to blame that on her. One of the things my husband and I tried to do is we chose a school that was multiracial, but mostly Hispanics and Black children in his school. He would never go to a school where, at least not at this age, where it's most white people. Okay, there was one school we wanted him to go, and it was more 98% white people. We're not going to do that. For high school, though, my husband wants him to go to a prep school, and I don't know if you know, prep schools are very expensive. You know, right now I think it's $30,000 a year. And so by the time Michael is ready to go, we're probably going to be looking at $35,000, $40,000 a year for him to go to that school. There is not a lot of non-white people that can afford a $40,000 a year school. So I'm saying all of that to say, I don't really blame her friend group based because on her. It's just because of how she was raised, where her family lived, and where her, granted, let me just go back. I love the city of Newark. Okay, I don't know about to think I love Newark. But if it wasn't for my daughter, we wouldn't be here. We're here because day program, mileage, and all of that stuff. Okay. So I want to point that out. I get what this young lady's saying, but we have to look at the whole picture. Okay. She don't live in the inner city, but then all her friends are in Livingston. No, that's where she lived. That's the school she goes to. That is her friend group. Okay. Michael Luther friend group are mostly Hispanics. There's one African-American boy, one girl who's biracial. She's Hispanic and Black, but the rest of his friend groups are Hispanics. Okay. So I do y'all understand what I say? I think we need to be fair. It's not her fault. It's just the way she was raised. Do y'all agree or disagree?
I definitely agree with that, Janice. And to be honest, I grew up in a predominantly Black neighborhood. My friends are Black. And, you know, you would have thought, oh, I knew better. But so it still could be a cultural thing, a neighborhood thing, and it could just be your own mindset too that kind of derails you. Because you want a thing so badly. You, like she used the word desperate. You know, you're so desperate for love that you don't see things that's right in front of you.
Right. Thank you.
Dating choices and why I say that she's suffering from transcendent Blackness. Onyeka is of the view that she's better than the typical Black person in America. She's better than, the typical Black woman in America. She is thin and fit. Therefore, she falls into the Eurocentric or white beauty standards. The way she even described her ex-husband when she first saw him, she said he looked like a model in a Calvin Klein magazine. Again, that is indicative of how much she has consumed a lot of white cultural capital. Because
that's right, because I said that no Black woman, you would never describe a white man like that. It sounded like she was described. That's how we would describe a Black man. Okay. So the way she described him, it was like, I like that what she said, Calvin Klein. Like Black people, we don't read Calvin Klein, we read Essence or Ebony. Okay.
she believed that she has transcended Blackness. She's not the average Black woman. She deserves to be with a white rich man who has royal ties, an Olympian, a successful businessman, has blue eyes, blonde hair. She is deserving of a man like that.
And in all fairness, there's nothing wrong with her wanting that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman wanting a successful man who has money. For me, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay.
Because of the way she has consumed a lot of white cultural capital, white social capital, and her friendship group being mainly white, she believed that she was deserving of that type of man. Other aspect of her story that fits into the dating culture of white women is the fact that when they reconnected the second time and she met him at the airport, they started making out at the airport, and the moment they got into the hotel, she had sex with him multiple times. Also, she was
the killer, the serial killer. He could have been a serial killer. Did you use protection? Did you get him blood tests? No. You see what I mean, y'all? Do you see what I mean?
was the first person to say that I love you. She was also the first person to
That's right. First person to say I love you. Never be the first person to say I love you. My husband told me he loved me first and didn't propose to me when he wanted to propose to me because I hadn't told him I love him, but I hadn't told him I loved him because I was not done gathering the data. And I'm not about to love you unless I have all the data I need to make the determination if I love you. Ooh, child.
Indicates that I want to marry you. You are somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with. And I believe that these are all dating cues among white women. And I say this because those choices did not reflect anything about her Nigerian background. Also, she got married to her ex-husband secretly without her parents knowing. Meanwhile,
listen up, Christian girls. We don't do that. We do not do that. Okay? I believe when you go behind your parents' back to get married, without your parents knowing, there's a curse on you because you do not have the blessing of your parents.
She had consistently said that she was close to her parents and she has a Nigerian background. And these are the reasons why I said Onyeka is suffering from transcending Blackness, because the way she approached her entire dating life ties back to white dating cues and culture. As a sociologist analyzing the choices she made, it's an indicative of the fact that she did not even respect her Nigerian background like she claims she's a proud Nigerian. She did not respect her.
Right, because if she said, I'm proud to be a Nigerian, I love being a Nigerian, I would never change that. But you did everything against the culture. You went behind your parents' back and got married. I don't know any Nigerian that would do that. And I know a lot of Nigerians and a lot of brothers and sisters from the continent of Africa that would never happen. Not one. I don't know one. So you can't say you love your culture, you respect your culture, but you're doing stuff to disrespect the culture.
Family enough to tell them what she was doing. Finally, her remarks about the woman that was seen with her ex-husband when her friend told her is telling. And it reveals the fact that she feels she has transcended Blackness because she said the way the woman was described, she looked like a sex worker and she was a 1 out of 10.
And she was getting home because she lives in the residences, and she saw my ex with a woman that, let me just say, based on the way she was described to me, I would think she was a street hooker, 100%.
Delusional. This girl is delusional. She's delusional. She's delusional. Delulu, 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 delusional.
And it was also kind of communicated to me that she might be like a 1 out of 10. And my ex was with her, and he was holding her jacket and getting cash out of the ATM at 2:15 in the morning.
Wow.
Rating the lady as a 1 out of 10 is an indication that she felt that she is a better Black woman. And I do not know the race of the lady, but I am guessing the lady is Black. She's more curvier, and perhaps she was wearing mainstream fashion, like Fashion Nova outfits. And therefore, her white friend who saw them told her that, oh, the lady looks so scandalous, she might be a sex worker. And if we're going to rate her beauty, she was 1 out of 10. That needs to tell you that Onyeka is suffering from transcending Blackness. She believes that by virtue of being thin, falling into the white beauty standards, having white friends, and inculcating and assimilating white culture, white social capital, and also believing that she has Eurocentric etiquettes makes her better than the average Black woman in America. From the standpoint of a racial analysis, these are the reasons why she became a perfect victim to be scammed by her Danish husband. My name is Dr. Zita. I'm a sociologist. Make sure you watch the part 2, which is going to be a gender analysis. If you're not following, guess what? Hit the follow button.
Okay, I love her. I love her. And I love how she broke it down. Let me see if I get part 2 quickly so I can because my son has tutoring at 11. Okay. So what y'all thought about what she said, y'all? What y'all thought about what she said? Where's part 2? I thought I had saved it.
I agree with what she had to say a lot, Janice.
Hold on. Hang on, cuz. Hang on. Give me 1 second. Hang on. No, I cannot live on a plane with all women. I don't like women like that. Sorry. Go ahead, Beautiful Ashes. Go ahead, sis.
Oh, I was just saying that I definitely agree with everything she was saying. I think that, it was a lot of, I don't really relate to Black women, but then when everything hit the fan, why don't Black women support me? Because you don't see yourself as one of us, necessarily, so maybe it's this idea you think you better or whatever in her mind. So that I did get that as I was watching the series that, I picked that up myself.
Okay. All right. Let me go to the comments. I got to find part 2. I thought I had saved it, but maybe I didn't. Okay. Let me read some of the comments. Okay. So Beautiful Ashes, we got her book and we're going to show her love and support. AI is making it harder so really must do deep dive. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Black or white, man, my defenses are always up because too many Black women go missing everywhere. Thank you. And pretty sure many of them are gone at the hands of a man. Absolutely. Sorry this happened to you, Beautiful Ashes. Glad you were able to get away. Had a cousin who is still married to a scam preacher who used Christianity against her. Now they have 5 children, child. 5 children. Why would you do that? scam preacher because he had a prison record. Ooh, so he didn't have a church and he didn't tell her about her record. This is why you Google. Google is free. Google's free. I think Black parents should teach their Black kids about the ways of the world, races, especially in the country, so they can better navigate and not be sent like lambs to the slaughter. Amen. Absolutely. I think she needs to use Google regardless of upbringing. Google is your friend. She would have seen the members of the Danish family. White people practice hypergamy, while we as Black usually do not. This is just a generalization. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Let me see if I find part 2, because I want to she said some things in part 2 that I want to is this part 2? Okay, no. I love her. I watch her videos all the time. I think maybe I guess I didn't post it, but I wanted to share what she said about part 2. Okay, so let's see what some other people are saying. No, I don't want to be in a planet with all women. I don't like women like that. I don't. Maybe because I grew up with mostly male families. Okay, let's see what this.
Bachelor Onyeka is saying that she, her family, her close, about $300,000 is how much Bachelor Onyeka is saying that she, her family, her closest friends, and even a colleague were all scammed out of by one man. Man she once believed was her soulmate. His name, Martin Fursgaard Anderson. Charming blonde 6'3" real estate mogul who claimed he had royal ties, booming tech business, and wealth that would one day be theirs to share. Instead, Onyeka was left with years of trauma and coming to TikTok to tell her story, which she calls the Danish Deception. It's a 26-part story, which she says began in June of 2022 when she decided to take a trip with her friend to Croatia. It was at a beach club when she noticed Martin immediately, and that was when he decided to approach her. He was confident, their chemistry was magnetic, and there was an instant spark. They exchanged social media, and she saw him one more time before returning to the US, but it wasn't the last time she heard from him. He messaged her constantly, invited her to come party with him in Ibiza, and then eventually convinced her to join him for a work trip in Monaco. After a month of talking over the phone, she agreed and he flew her out, paid for the hotel and her flight. In Monaco, he was everything he had promised, charismatic, adored, and effortlessly networking in real estate circles. After that, he whisked her to Saint-Tropez, paid for a $2,000 a night hotel, and offered to buy her whatever she wanted. She said she never wanted him to think that she was only there for his money, so she didn't let him buy her all these
Let me stop. Y'all need to stop saying that we are here for the money. I don't understand. I'm here for the money. Because I would have never married you, date you if you're broke. Okay? So I'm here for the money. Stop doing that, ladies. There's nothing wrong with being loved, adored, provided for, and protected. If you want to buy me gifts, of course, I am financially savvy, conscious. I don't have any Chanel or Louis or none of that. But can we just stop saying, "Oh, I'm not here for the money. I just love you for you." Use a lie. If you just love a man for who he is, go get a homeless man out the shelter.
But Janice,
sorry,
I just wanted to interrupt real quick. It's funny because especially as Black women, we're taught to not be about the money. We're taught to have that struggle love. So and that's interesting because she's Nigerian that she would think like that, because that's something, especially as Black women, we're kind of engraved in us. Oh no, don't worry about a man for the money. Just love him for who he is. So, and that's exactly how I feel. Like, oh, I want to make sure that he doesn't think that I want his money. So I'm just going to be this independent. I just love him, right? When I know better now, but so I had a very similar thought process myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ladies, there's nothing wrong. We were made to be taken care of, provided for. So don't be ashamed because you want a man that has money. This is why so many Black women married Dusties and is Candy. Hello. This is why Candy married a man who, hello. Ugh.
Extravagant gifts. Instead, she opted for a $200 sunglasses. She fell hard for the first time in her life, telling him over a loud dinner that she was in love with him. Nights later, she collapses in a restaurant on the way to the bathroom and is eventually taken to the hospital, to which at that point he tells her he's falling in love with her too. Back home, the romance intensifies. He meets her friends, her family, and he fits right in. He flies to see her often, and then money requests begin. There are so many details to this story.
We do not give men money. I thought that would be like an easy sign. He's asking for money. What successful man is going to ask you for money? None. So to me, it's a very easy sign that this man is not who he say he is, because if you so successful, you got it. You're not going to ask me for no money. Child.
But at some point he convinces her that he's buying properties. His money is tied up, that the IRS has a hold on not only his personal, but his business account. He lent him $6,000, then more and more. All while planning a life together in the US, they get married, he's applying for a visa, and eventually gets a green card. At this point, the cracks are forming. She's visiting his family in Denmark, and things aren't matching what he's...
The cracks. Those are the cracks are the claws that's coming out. That's finally coming out. So many new cousins in the comment. Be sure to make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Please thumbs up. Check the thumbs up. Okay. In the meantime, for all the new cousins coming in, let me show you. I will be doing a free teaching on wolves. Is he a wolf? A lot of women you don't know how to recognize a wolf. Okay. Is he a wolf? You could go, it's free. It's free, but it's not really free. It's like $1 because I want people to sign up who really want to do it. And if you don't want to do it, I don't want you signing up and taking up space for somebody else because I have limited space. Okay. So Janice Hylton mentoring, the link is below. Okay. So the cracks are those claws that starts to show. Just give it a month or two, but you have to look for the claws. Look for the claws. Okay.
He's telling her. After getting married, she finds out from his friend that he has a severe gambling addiction, one that he's been battling for over a decade. Later finds out that he had borrowed $200,000 from her friend's husband that he hadn't paid back. Relationship is going up and down. He convinces her that that's in the past, and later she finds out that he has been borrowing money from a lot of people.
So ladies, dating is for data, right? Dating is for data. Do you want a gambler? Do you want a man that's a gambler? No. So why would you try to fix him? We don't fix him. Once you learn something that you do not want in a man, you drop him and leave him and walk away. You do not stick around, stay around. Excuse me, because he is not what you want.
In her life. Of thousands of dollars from one person to another. $3,000 from her little sister. Every loan came with its own set of lies. Every time she would confront him, there were so many excuses until one day he had no excuse left to give. And so he asked for a divorce. Only when he left did she realize the magnitude of it all, from exes to cheating to gambling to lies to manipulation. She is now sharing her story, and while she did not give his name or his photos, the internet did its thing, and I decided to share it as well because people need to know about this man. Of course, so much more that I left out, and I highly recommend watching this 26-part, which I did tag in my caption.
Girl, It's like so many cracks that you didn't want to see. So many cracks you didn't want to see. It's another one I want y'all to see. Is this? I'm still trying to find the doctor part 2. Somebody said God saved her. Child, God should have saved her. God should have saved her from the beginning. God should have saved her. Okay, let me go back to the comments. It's almost 11 and I have to jump off because my son has to jump on at 11. Okay, let me go to the comments. I'm having issues getting in my thing. Okay. Okay, very few men will appreciate you when you were with them when they had nothing. My man was my dad. My mom was with my dad and he had nothing. They both built themselves up financially and during their divorce 24 years. So they got a divorce? Hey, Miss Nebraska. Hey, I'm glad I was able to catch it. Thank you so much. I love you, appreciate you. The Danish Delusion, right? The Danish Delusion. Thank you. Later, he took everything they built and gave it all to his next wife because he saw your mother as the starter wife. Do not be a starter wife, ladies. Right? Do not be a starter wife. She was so obsessed and desperate to be with a white man. She ignored all the red flags. Yes. Also, why wouldn't he get money from his friends or families? If she had said no the first time, he would have disappeared. Exactly. Melissa, of all the red flags, money request was the biggest. Then he went behind her back and asked her family for money. Girl, it was so like in your face. I was told by my African friend is that they're taught white is right. So African men, women believe if they marry one, they'll be rich and have a better life. Jesus. Say no to struggle laws. Say no to stranded and standard and values. Say yes to standard value. Amen. Amen. Shameful. Let me see if I could get this girl up here. Hold on. And the crazy thing is that there were so many red flags. There were so many red flags that she totally ignored. So how many of you, let me go back to Janice Hylton Mentoring. How many of you signed up for the free training, the free class, Janice Hylton Mentoring? There you go. It's free. I want you to sign up. It's $1 because I want people to sign up who really want to sign up. I don't want people to sign up just because you want to sign up. So it's Janice Hylton Mentoring. Let's go over now. Even if you don't want to take the class, just be sure to connect with me because a lot of people are saying they're not getting emails. They're not. So I want everybody on the live, go over and sign up for the link for the class. Again, it's only $1. It's $1. Again, it's really free, but because I want people to sign up who really want to take the course. I don't want people to sign up who don't want to take the course. Okay. And then I'm going to be going because my son goes on at 11:30. you know what? I do appreciate her telling her story, because I think there's a lot of people. That's okay, babe. There's a lot of people who have been deceived, but don't want to be honest and tell it. So I do appreciate it. But I'm just like, girl, at this point, you've got to be really a dum-dum. Let's see what this girl had to say.
I think that some things you just got to take to the grave with you. I do appreciate that she felt, comfortable with sharing her story, but some things you just got to take to the grave.
Right. She shouldn't have told none of us that. She should have kept it to herself.
I mean, even myself, I would not get on a public platform and just go detail by detail of what happened. I'm a very private person, and just, to protect myself and my future, because you have to think, it's not just about right now, but whoever you may get involved with in the future, then they can Google your name and then that's going to come up. And I would not want any man, going forward to know this is what I went through. Now, if I tell it to you, that's different, but you're not going to know that information about me.
Right. No. Right. Exactly. Okay. Let's play this last one. Then I'm going to go because my baby has class. This is ebook.
Part 1.
I'm sorry.
We did. Onyeka. Let's start with teaching you how to pronounce your name. Yes. Onyeka. Not Onyeki. Not Anika. Not Onyeka.
Because she tried to be white. Let's teach her how to pronounce your name. That's funny.
Anini. But you know what? We don't want this video to go too long. Yes. So, as your elder Igbo sisters, we're going to drag you a little bit. Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
Girl, you fell all our collective hands.
Hell! Especially as an
What do you mean?
Like, why?
I knew that there was a problem when that girl could not pronounce her name.
Hell!
I knew that from that
moment. You allow Oyibo run on street. Now run street.
To be honest with you,
Oyibo run on street.
A Denmark boy.
And the only reason why you accepted that was because he was white. Yeah, if he was Chijoke,
he was giving pictures.
And Ebuka, we did not even do 1%. Yeah, you would have finished that.
Let's give our audience context in case you haven't seen it.
Okay.
Run to TikTok and search for the Danish Deception. It is a 25-part series by this Nigerian Igbo girl. My heart just broke as I said.
No, she's
girl.
white. She's
a white black girl.
Oh.
By this babe named Onyeka. She can't even pronounce her name.
Onyeka.
Her name is Onyeka.
Who is greater than God? Hey, God.
We digress.
All right.
But what I'm trying to tell you guys, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Go and watch it too.
But she had, dated this guy for a period of time, and he basically scammed her.
Oh, this scamming, eh? So I know people like a stupid kind of scam that somebody, like, how can they tell you that they're from royal family?
Yeah, there was so many red flags already. My sister, I don't know what you were on.
No, she thought she was going to be the next Meghan Markle.
Oh, you are
the Meghan Markle of death. No, but
honey, let me speak the language you understand. You're a moo-moo. You're a moo-moo.
Where are our Texas sisters?
Sorry, I know that. First of all, she's not a baby. She's 31. So this is probably not your first love. And even if it was, the benefit of falling in love in your 30s is that now you're wiser, now you're smarter. Nothing you did in that relationship or in your narration, as far as I'm concerned, was smart.
Internalized racism.
It wasn't. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It was giving pick me.
I'm sorry because my white guy.
I think you fell in love with the idea of what it could be.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Google is free.
Hey.
The moment he told you he was in the Olympics, the moment he told you his family was...
And we have ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly. The moment he told you his family was a royal family, it's a simple search.
Wow.
Or pictures or something. Even when you are talking to him, be like, okay, well, show me pictures.
And then who are all these people around you? I'm sorry, you don't have a good set of people around you because there was Valerie, Tracy, Lucy, Nancy. So we're not racist. We don't hate white people or anything. But girl, you need some sisters in your life.
I don't know why it didn't translate. It sounded like she was surrounded by some black women.
Maybe she mentioned their names like Onyeka.
She mentioned her best friend. She mentioned sister. She mentioned her mom. So I don't know what went wrong. Sis, after you failed to Google him, after you failed to search, or even what do they call those things when couples are hanging out? When you guys are like just talking, you're talking stage. Don't you exchange pictures? Don't you?
She was so mesmerized by the fact that he was white.
Also, the moment a man has promised you a set lifestyle, before I even go there, you were too eager to prove to him that you're not after his money. I don't know why.
Why?
Who sent you?
Be after his money. And so what if you're after his money?
There was a time.
Who sent you? Be after his money. Be after his money. Y'all, this is hilarious. This man who sent you. Be after his money.
You told her to pick a Dior bag.
Yeah, she picked one of Rita.
They worry you. They worry you.
Okay.
But apart from that, if a man promises you a certain lifestyle from the beginning, and then like 2 seconds after, or maybe 2 months after, down the line, he's now, the promise is not shifting. Now there's no financial problem. Every time that man called Onyeka, it was bad news.
Oh yes.
The lifestyle you promised her, every time he called her, I hate to see that man's phone call coming.
And this one is not even village people.
Once I pick up my phone and see Martin is calling, it's just a voicemail. Because that man has bad news for days, and you kept falling for each one.
Like, I don't understand. How could he ask your co-worker husband or co-worker for money? Ask your sister, ask your daddy, ask the cockroach in the house, ask everybody. Everybody was asking for money.
Before we even get to that part, sister, can we talk about the trips?
Hey!
Onyeka, come to the front. Tell me about those trips. What's happened? Is he the owner of Virgin Atlantic as well? Okay. Because I don't get it. How did you guys have all these financial woes?
And they were paying money, and they were owing money.
I know what
she was
already. You were owing crypto to that as well. He was owing the full America at this point.
He was owing you.
He was owing you, and you kept giving him money. Why did you keep giving this man?
Do you know, at some point I thought she was very young, but when she said her age, I was like, I got dogging. Because let me tell you something, women, we need to start moving away from that. Oh, support women. Oh, let's show her support. No. We will pet you, but we will tell you the truth.
Absolutely.
So we need to move away from that. Oh, it's my sister. Let me support her. What would other women do? Oh, the sisterhood. Oh, the sisterhood will tell you that your mouth is stinking.
And this guy was so much worse than the Tinder swindler. He was worse than the guy from Reset Teaser that did Who the Fuck Did I Marry series. Because at least he did not marry all these people that he collected money. You know why I know that guy is the real shit? He did not even have to date them to collect money from all of them. If you don't reach like 15 people where that man collect money from, what are you talking about? So he's actually worse than all of them combined. Right. And the signs were there for you to see. For every time he kept asking you money, for every time he kept telling you apartment complex, no say investment, no say my papa no die, you know fact check one.
Hey, as a sisterly, you go first contact the ex. Say hi, baby girl. How's it going? You first try to collect information, PI, this is the age of technology.
Please God, whatever love that was doing Onyeka, please avoid that. Don't make me fall that kind of love.
I was planning on naming one of my kids Onyeka.
No, maybe we'll post Onyeka.
Wait. Oh, okay. There's some other Onyekas.
Yeah. You forehand. So the sympathy that I think you were looking for. Also, before I wrap up, what was the bachelorette thing she mentioned while she was dating Martin? Were you on the bachelor? Were you going on the bachelor?
Yeah. She said she went.
Yeah. I don't understand.
There's a saying that goes, when somebody shows you who they are the first time, believe them. You did all those things and you were still planning wedding.
She was not trying to help him with Gikwa waiting anonymous. Gambling.
He did not even go to one. It was just that first meeting. Sokotilo. He did not even.
I believe that gambling.
He's not any stupid gambling guinea.
I don't know if I believe that he's a gambler. He's just collecting gambling
story.
I don't think that's.
He's using that money to line up his next mark. All that money that he collected, he's using it to line up that there's already one other girl or two that he's posting. That he's showing them that he's taking them to one apple and showing them all those other things. That's what he's using all those money for.
Yeah, no, you make many excuses for him. Like even that gambling thing, she held on to him for dear life. To the point where even when he was willing to leave the marriage, he's still doing gambling anonymous.
Do you know just want to go to meeting? In my head, back and see the move. Do you know what bought my head? Now he break up with you.
Baby.
Hey,
baby.
As a new man for you.
You let that man do the most.
He did you dirt poto. He broke up with you.
That man, you.
Hey,
begging, baby,
please. Let's go to the passport.
Desperate much?
Desperate?
No, baby, I don't know. I'm trying to have some sympathy, but it's hard. I'm struggling. I'm really struggling because, girl, you're the price. Did you forget? The man is supposed to be pushed.
She didn't even know that she was the price.
You didn't act like the price at any point. So,
what is that?
I want to have a little, softness and waiting for you, but I'm struggling because I feel like a proper Igbo girl would have clocked it. Maybe the first time he asked for money.
But she will clock it for Chichoki and Ebuka. She will clock it for Semi and Landry. She will clock it for them. You would have quickly said, Nigerians are accepting me. Oh my God, Nigerian man.
Yeah, Nigerian man. That's valid.
What are you saying? Valid. She will not take like 1% of this from a Nigerian or from a black man.
That stereotype and said, Nigerian man.
Or black man.
Yes. So, but because he was Danish, you're willing to overlook so much.
That was really wrong.
I don't know. You have bigger issues than relationship problems. You might have some internalized
racism. That's called what it is. That's called what it is. You need to, I don't know what kind of therapy you're doing, but you need to go back and do some more. Because why? I love it for you, girl. Because why are you?
You quit your job.
thing.
That 6-figure job.
That's another thing. He keep borrowing money from her, asking her for money for her, and then he told her to quit the job. Girl.
In this economy.
I forgot. You quit your Onyeka. I got die.
She quit. I got go her already now. She will not come for next meeting.
You will not come for next meeting.
She did not. She doesn't come for meeting. That's the problem. But she wanted to take him to the village to go see her.
And she did. Not wanted. She put Rolex. She carried him to the village to take Rolex.
All right.
We're going to do this relationship thing all over again. And we're going to do it right this time.
That's
okay,
right.
Onyeka, consult us so that we can help you pick a man.
Yes.
All right. Love and light.
Love and light.
Heal quick. Bye.
Bye, Martin.
Bye, Martin.
Oh my God. Okay, y'all. I just want to play that. They are hilarious. But I don't want no money. Who sent you? When they say get the money, that's right. That's right, ladies. I don't want the money. Girl, the foolishness. Let me read these and then I have to jump on. How many of you signed up for the Is He a Wolf in She's Clothing? How many of you signed up for the one and say I signed up? There's a link there. I love your accent. Are you from Jamaica? Yes, I'm from Jamaica, Miss Nebraska. Yeah. African American Anonymous. Hey, some are saying she has to absolve herself to not fall into legal issues with him. Ooh, okay. Well, I mean, he's a scammer. I'm sure all the ladies can come out and say who this is. They are saying she did this to get ahead of any legal issues. Ooh. Well, that's smart. And he didn't steal from her parents behind her back. She put her mom in a group chat with him for him to get her mother's account info. Jesus Christ. I am Black woman all over the world. I love Black women all over the world. Me too. Be after his mom. Who sent you? Absolutely, girl. Okay, who sent you? Hey. Child, there are so many red flags. It's my opinion that someone in her family was in on this. How can two different family members get scammed by him and they didn't know? Right. Push return to sender. Push return too soon. Two of her family members were scammed by him, and how didn't they know? Regardless, she is a PICKMESHA. Absolutely, PICKMESHA. Absolutely. Absolutely. Exactly. She changed her standards for him. The standards should remain standards. That's right. Right? Don't change. Don't adjust. We have to adjust a little bit, but nothing that's going to compromise. Don't change the standards. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if she was in on it with him, but when he turned on her, she decided to play victim so she wouldn't be responsible legal. Right. I hope she go get her a blood test, child. And no, they're saying he's in Mexico scamming other women. Go get your blood test. Because I know you didn't use no protection. I know you didn't use no protection. Okay, y'all, I have to go. How many of you signed up? I want to see how many people signed up for the free training. Is he a wolf? Is he a wolf? Go ahead. Sign up. Sign up. It's free. Well, it's $1 because I want to make sure people signing up who really want to sign up. Hang on. Okay, beautiful ashes. Okay, beautiful ashes. Thank you, babe. A few more minutes, then I'm gonna go. My boy has tutoring coming up. I cannot log into my my thing. Sign up. Don't be deceived, ladies. Do not be deceived. The problem is y'all not expecting or thinking that wolves are out here, but they are. They are out here.
Real deception is her getting on the internet and deceiving all of us, because there's no way this is a real story. Because anybody who is that man-centered and like will do anything for a man, including loaning him thousands of dollars, your friends and family know you be on that type of stuff, and they not gonna just be falling into the antics just like you. But now thousands of dollars, no. You didn't this before, and your friends and family probably didn't see you do this shit before. So you telling me that you weren't the wiser and your friends and family weren't the wiser? Another thing that's crazy is talking about some, she don't loan him money, and then they went to what, Portugal or something?
So you paid for your
If I have to loan a man more than $5, he's staying at the house. I stay at home. You don't have any money, remember? Matter of fact, get you another job. Also, I'm confused as to how he was an Olympian and you ain't seen no pictures, no records.
I wouldn't be talking to him.
You just believed him. So in conclusion, the story not real, because there's no way your sister, family, friends, cousins, and dogs are close enough to loan your man money without y'all even talking about it. It never comes up in conversation. So are y'all close or not? Because ain't nobody out here shelling out thousands of dollars for somebody's man if they're not close with the person. Hey, Miss Ma'am, self-esteem was in the toilet. She didn't think she could do no better. She didn't think she deserved better. Or maybe some things have been like added and exaggerated, but as it is, ain't no way. This is really a true story. I really do hope that everybody involved got their money back. And if they did not get their money back, once she runs up this check here on this app, they need to go look for her and get their money.
Get that money. So serious. All right, y'all. I love you.
You say you have seen the summary online, online about the Danish Deception.
I have to go. My little boy has tutoring. Love you. Did everybody subscribe? Check to make sure you thumbs up and you like this live. Please share it out. I love you. I love you. I'm gonna run. If you haven't signed up for this, is he a wolf? You need to know. Is he a wolf? It's going to be a free training. It's really $1 because I want people to sign up who really want to sign up, not just people who want to sign up for foolishness. Okay. I love you, love you, love you. I have to run. I'll talk to you later. I will talk to you later. Email me if you need to get in touch with me. Absolutely love you, adore you. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye.